Hello YouTube, this is Thigil doing part 2 of the final mission of the Scottish Corridor campaign, the bonus mission at the end of the veteran stream, looking at Operation Bluecoat. Before we just ran into the enemy, lost a few infantry and one Stuart light tank. Meanwhile, another platoon of infantry and some Churchill infantry fighting vehicles came up. So we're just going to keep going forward here. I'm just redeploying my 14th platoon, who are currently the most forward position on my lines. And I've just realised that my heavy machine gun I put up there to cover the right was stuck behind that one lone tree and didn't have much of a line of sight, so I'm just going to redeploy them as well. I'm planning to move through the opening forward further to that greenhouse. From there, hopefully I can get a better line of sight onto any enemy. Just being very careful here, making sure the troops go behind the greenhouse. If you just let the AI do it, they sometimes do very, very silly things. So the troops will be going behind the house into the nearest building and then deploying from within there. That way the amount of time they're exposed with no cover will be minimal. Well, that's the plan anyway. Unless there's a whole German squad there waiting behind the house to fire from those trees. It's the only real threat they've got by going that way. I think they're going to be pretty safe. Also just realised that building, the red building I'm occupying on the right, has no door on the bottom floor and no windows either, so those guys are basically sitting there looking at a wall. So they've got to go through the house on the left and then to the green building. That's one thing to keep in mind when you're playing these games. Really watch out where the doors are and where the windows are. It does make a huge difference, especially in urban combat. Any type of town or city especially, a single door in the wrong place or a lack of a door in the wrong place can really wipe out squads and platoons if you're not careful. You'll also notice I'm still using the quick command a lot. Fast is a little bit, doesn't really have any good situational awareness. They could run straight into trouble. Quick just keeps that a little bit slower, but improves the situational awareness a little bit. Okay, those guys are going to dash across that dangerous field. There's still possibly enemy going to shoot at them. I'm hoping my heavy machine gun team on the right flank will at least take care of the guys on that flank. On the left, I've got to really wait, I guess. Just pray. On the what I'm doing here is I've discovered the heavy machine gun team on the left. It's a bit of a glitch or a bug in the system. It's been around for ages, but teams can split up. Usually single soldiers get stuck on a piece of terrain, and while the rest of the team advances. Now the game still records it all as one team, of course, so trying to do any further orders is just a nightmare. So hopefully it'll fix itself, get that one lone guy to move up further. You will notice in the coming turns there's another team a mortar team attached to 14th platoon, which will do the same thing. I don't think I can't really fix that one. It's a nasty little bug, but it's not breaking or anything. So the men begin their dash. Yeah, you see the more. Okay, I lost just a regular soldier from the HQ team. Wasn't the commander, luckily. So even that small gap, lost another man there. Another one there, yep. This is always going to be a mad dash, especially the Germans aware I'm advancing. Okay, looks like another team on the right. Or, sorry, more on the centre. Behind that bocage. That's the benefit of doing quick right there. See the guys in the centre there, they stop to fire just to give the enemy something to think about. If I was putting on fast commands, they wouldn't do that. They'll just keep running with no fire returning to the enemy, so the enemy could just take pot shots with no threat at all. So at least a few bullets go back the other way and goes towards pinning the enemy. Those men who have already made it into the buildings and are fully deployed, they'll bank up against the windows and start laying on the hurt. So I'm just moving another squad around to that hedge, that hedge line there. They should be able to lay some more fire onto the enemy. Okay, just going to put the forward observer up on the second floor. Just going to look for targets from that second floor vantage point. I can get these squads right over on the heavy right flank there. So I'm thinking about putting a mortar barrage down on them. Just a quick line.
Hello, fire mission, over.
Just some heavy explosives just to fall on their positions. Hopefully it will be enough to break them. I think it's only probably one squad at most. Probably, yeah, two. The squad is split up into two teams. Just putting some small cover arcs there as well, so the in their vantage position, the forward observers don't actually fire their weapons. I don't want them to fire. I want them to stay concealed. And my platoon on the left here has moved up, and that's the aircraft. So they moved up, and they can lay some covering fire down on the men at the other end of the wheat field. Just trying to get some artillery or something onto that lone tank. At this stage, it would be a long shot. This is the time you really wish you were playing with modern forces and something like combat mission shock force, but high explosives, my experience, actually do quite well, actually. I mean, if you pepper a tank with high explosives, even if it lands near it, over time it will damage systems like optics and that, which can really impair its ability to fight effectively. So it's not a complete waste, though a direct line of sight with a friendly tank, of course, would be the best option. So my it looks like executive officer section, who can call in artillery on off-map support, can see the tank. Can't call in aircraft. Always worth a check, but the only ones that can generally call in aircraft are the actual forward observer teams with the little binoculars. They're generally very specialist.
Over.
Very specialist support, and so it's down to that one team to call them in. Therefore, that makes the team very important. In my experience, if you're playing a multiplayer match and you somehow spot an enemy forward observer team, you should really do everything in your power to take it out as quick as possible, because they're probably preparing something from off map to hurt you. So you might as well try and take them out as quick as possible. Oh, and the forward observer team takes a casualty, and of course it's the actual forward observer himself who's been hit. Looks like he's heavily wounded, he's out. That is not good. Yeah, that is the worst thing that could possibly happen to me. Even losing the Stewart before wasn't much compared to what just happened there, I think. So I've picked up there's another small team, it looks like. Probably tank hunters. Yeah, Panzerschreck team. Okay, it's lucky I didn't advance the armour up. They were sitting there waiting to ambush. And looks like my own pair team's taking them on with a rifle and a Sten gun, while the enemy infantry squads also start counter-firing. That's why losing the forward observer sucks. I lost that one single man out of all the army. Now I can't call in any aircraft support. Yeah, I always like to double check with the commander or something, but yeah, generally you lose your forward observer and aircraft are no longer a factor. If it was just a regular soldier, even possibly the radio man, it probably wouldn't have made a difference, but losing that one specialist within that team, it's not good. I mean, losing a gunner or an anti-tank specialist in any other squad, I mean, a fellow soldier can do buddy aid and medic on that fallen soldier to get his equipment, but you can't really replace the skills of being a forward observer. So that's a really big loss, probably the biggest loss so far for me. Just checking out that Panzerschreck team. I mean, it's a 2-on-2 battles, so I just want to make sure I've got fire superiority. That squad can't see anything, can't see the enemy, so I'm wanting to move that squad up further. Hopefully they can get close enough to see the enemy. Looks like the Panzerschreck team's probably only got a rifle and a pistol compared to a rifle and an SMG, so should be able to win out there. Okay. The 15th platoon, the platoon that came in from reserve, just moving them up a little bit further. Instead, yeah, there's that lone man who's causing the problems at the back there. The heavy machine gun team should also move up soon enough. You'll also notice the grass magically changed, just changed over to a set of older mods. A little bit of better frame rate, but I actually like it actually better. It's just that, yeah, I think it's a more realistic look. Oh, and of course, just lost the anti-tank man in that pair team. It looks like we get some payback.
Hello, fire mission out.
Okay, squad I moved up can't really see anything. But the Germans in the centre are retreating, that's a good sign. And all my men in the buildings, they're in good cover now or out of line of sight, so I'm not too worried about them. They may take some fire, but I don't think they're going to really lose anyone. Not with the sporadic fire. You may get one lucky hit or so, but you won't lose whole squads, I don't think. So there's when me discovering the mortar team has the same problem as the heavy machine gun team. It's got a man trapped on a wall. It's just annoying more than anything else. I'm sure it can be fixed at a patch later on. So yeah, seeing it happen twice in one battle is a little bit surprising, but these things do happen. So just ordering that single man to really make sure that guy's dead before he does anything else. And I'll just move these guys up in a hunt command. A hunt command, of course, still the same as before. They move up to contact and open fire on anything that they see. So just to try and maybe break that the mortar team, that single man who's trapped on the wall, going to blow up the wall. With the breach team, maybe that will do something. Wait and see. Yeah, that's me just double checking, thinking in my head if I checked everything.
Fire mission out.
There you go, the squad's finally seen him. And there goes the wall. And the squad in the back there has taken out the second man of that Panzerschreck team, so it's good. We've got mortars falling off map. That should be my mortars trying to target that extreme right flank there. But losing the forward observer there is not the best thing that happened at the moment. This is also sort of a little bit silly. The dust and debris from the explosion has concealed a lot of visibility, including the forward observer who's trying to bring in mortars, so that's probably not going to help in the long run. Didn't really think that one through, I don't think. Plenty of demo charges left, that's what I like to see. So just going to move those breach teams up onto the other side of the green buildings. They should be safe there. Meanwhile, I'm going to move up the rest of the leading squad there, basically to see it flush out those remaining Germans. I'm thinking at this stage the obvious way into Paris, probably a little too obvious actually, is straight through the wall, would be southern wall into the objective farm. So I'm going to need the breach teams to blast a hole. I've got a nagging feeling there's heavy machine guns or something aimed straight down that main road, so I want to try and keep off that as much as possible. So just moving up that reserve platoon. They're going to take up positions, and I think here as well I was also time to clean up some casualties. So they're just going to move up to those men, scavenge the weapons from them. I'm sort of safe in the knowledge that at least the men on the left, if they pop their heads up to shoot at my men in the field, my men on my left flank overlooking the wheat field will be able to take shots at them too, so I don't think any type of fire in the centre field won't really last that long. Completely lost where that other guy went, but anyway. The tank crew, this is from the two survivors from the destroyed Stuart. Not too worried, it's the end of the campaign, so might as well move them up to help out in the buddy aid department. Now I can still spot that tank with some of my forces, but the tank obviously hasn't spotted me yet. Being behind a hedge and behind a wheat field, it has its benefits. So I'm just ordering the howitzers to hit that line. There's a huge delay on it, so if that line is still there towards the end of the delay, I'll still have plenty of warning to get any troops nearby out of the way. But there's a backup plan now in place in case I really don't want to advance across that field if I, with at least probably a squad, half a platoon maybe at most, eyeing it down. Whoops. That squad that just blasted through the wall thinks it's quicker to go around into the open than back through the building, so that's me being a little bit forgetful. Let's hope it doesn't cost us too much. Oh, and my squad has just just found some Germans and immediately hit the dirt and took them on. That took me by surprise. I was just backed up to see what happened. Looks another Panzerschreck team. Oh. And my men get a little bit liberal with their grenades. Looks like one soldier and about 4 grenades to take him out. So. Looks like here goes one of the mortars trying to spot the tank. It's from the XO, company XO team on the edge of the wheat field on the left flank. So yeah, it's just still trying to fix that mortar team issue. Looks like they've been shot at by something, that's why they've moved up to quick status. Trying to get out of the way of the bullets. He's giving buddy aid to his fallen colleague in the Piat teams. He's probably going to pick up the Piat launcher. 90% of the time they should do that. So I'm just going to move up slowly and then hunt further into the open air. I'm pretty sure there has to be more men there. That team that's falling back can't really fall back anywhere. It's trapped in that little area. It's got a big thick wall behind it, so it can't escape, so it's got to be there somewhere. So let's play it very careful at the moment. I've got plenty of time up sleeve. Saying that, I'd probably want to get Hector as a first objective. Probably want to get, or Paris as one of the two. I really want to get that first objective captured in the next, hopefully, 10 minutes or so. Maybe a little quick, but given the level of resistance I've got so far, it's as suspected at the beginning of this battle. It's only a platoon or so, it's only very light, so I want to get up there as quick as possible into the buildings before any German reserves start trundling down that road. Don't want to be left in the open in these fields. Looks like it's an MG42 at the back there from one of the squads. We're just an LMG, not a HMG, thank you, thank God. Oh, good, we're getting a good spotting on the men to the wheat field, the enemy there. It's got a HQ and looks like maybe 2 squads even, probably. That's pretty damn good. Some more spotting rounds coming in. Mortar team that doesn't know what to do. Ah, okay. So my squad who's moved up and hunted immediately stopped. Realised they had flanked the enemy squad here, and were starting to lay on the fire. So really good shots, good flanking shots can really probably get these guys to break. So realising this, I decided to move up another whole squad. Pretty much moved up the whole platoon from memory actually. I'm really trying to capitalise on this situation. So there you go, and I think a second squad goes in there somewhere. So they'll move in quickly and lay on the fire. Another squad will move up and take over that job of clearing out that little forest there. Using the hedges in the forest as some cover. I'm just going to move up the Pioneers, the breach teams, those 3-man teams with explosives, just up to that low bocage. I mean, they're still pretty safe, but if they see anything, I'm happy for them to actually take some pot shots with their rifles. Okay, so they're giving buddy aid to the fallen men in the field. Just that one isn't. It's in the right square. It's just not thinking about it. So just give it a little nudge with the face command to think of the stuff in that direction. That's a little tip if you find your guys not giving buddy aid. Just give them if they're not got nothing else to worry about. Put them in the direction, face them in the direction of the fallen soldiers, so that it goes within the individual soldiers' vision arcs, and you probably get the guys moving pretty quickly to get buddy aid, unless they come under fire, of course. So the Germans seem to be reacting. they're definitely reacting to the squad on their left flank. And the full squad opens up. Germans immediately realise it's a problem, and if they hit the dirt though, they can't get away.
Fire for effect. Over.
And because they're moving, look, another casualty. Because they're moving, the men in the back of the wheat field can actually see them when they pop their heads up. And it looks like a heavy machine gun team in the building there just took out 2 of my soldiers from that squad. That's not good. Maybe I should have brought the tanks up to blast that building, but don't know about that Panzer IV. That Panzer IV is in a real bad position for me. I really don't want to go front armour to front armour between Churchills and a Panzer IV at the moment. Not at this early stage. Okay, so that heavy machine gun team in the attic of that building, I'm just going to try and maybe put some mortars on it. That's not in a, I mean, it's a pretty obvious spot when you think about it, but it can only, I'm pretty sure it can only see the tail end of my squad there. It can't see the men closer towards the objective. Let's just make sure, yep. It's just got some off-map artillery coming in.
Hello, fire mission. Over.
Just in case I can't get a good line of sight on the enemy squads in the attic there. I've got to try and shoot over heavy bocage and also a high wall, so may need some help from off-map. Just double checking here. I think so. They're generally just normal soldiers. They're not SS. There could be still SS on this map. There's nothing stopping the game from combining forces. There could be SS, it could be Luftwaffe troops on this map. We don't know. But as I said before in the earlier video, if there's SS troops suddenly, it means probably the quality of equipment's gone up and more machine guns. So I've got to play it very careful with infantry if they if SS forces are suddenly discovered. So I'm going to take a bit of a risk, going to change that to Hunt Command, because I know what's going to happen. If I leave that at Hunt there, they're probably going to spot something, probably the retreating Germans in the field to their left. I don't want them to get bogged down all firing at the same target. I want them to clear out that right flank. So changing it to quick there will mean that they will ignore the soldiers for the most part that their colleagues are firing on and keep going on their own little squad-based objective. So, because those soldiers are starting to flee, I'm thinking here, maybe should I?
Check fire. End of mission. Over.
I'll cease the mission. It's a bit of a waste now. I didn't realise I could get good flanking shots from that position, so don't need the heavy artillery support. Yeah, that heavy machine gun's suddenly gone quiet. Oh, there he is though. Okay, my mortars are coming down on that tank. Hey, that's good. Bit of pot luck there. Got a mortar hit when I hit on the top turret. So it's probably taken out the commander, if he was silly enough to be open. But could cause some light damage as well, which is good. Hopefully to optics. If the tank can't see it, you're brilliant. Oh, what happened there? Okay.
Fire for effect. Over.
Okay, that heavy machine gun team in the buildings just took out a couple more guys, I think. Meanwhile, my squad on the right there has just ran straight into the enemy. Didn't lose anyone, very luckily, but it looks like a grenade went off earlier in front of him. And it looks like one of the Germans has decided to give up, and his colleagues are still going to try and make a dash for it. Heard a big explosion towards the end there. It wasn't that mortar team, that's for sure. But I heard that. There we go, on the road there. That's a big explosion. I want to know where that came from. That can't be one of my shots falling, not this early, falling that far off. So I think I'll back it up here. I'll just see where that explosion came from. Yeah, okay. If you saw the angle it came down in, it came from the... well, it wasn't that one. It came from the German side. Little slight angle on it from the north. So I'm guessing that is probably German artillery trying to get a spotting round, a German spotting round to try and pinpoint some of my troops. I'm immediately thinking someone's seen these guys in the field. It could be the HQ over there in the wheat field. If so, that's probably good. It probably means they won't get any orders to fire for effect, but I want to move those troops out of that field very quickly, just in case. Meanwhile, my men that have just moved up are all going to try and start firing onto the heavy machine gun team. The good thing about that is they're all when they place them in the attic, they've got great height advantage. You can probably see a lot, but the enemy teams are all huddled around one or two windows, which means if you lay on enough fire, you're probably going to hit something. Where if you've got lots of windows, in my experience, the enemy has a lot more places to spread out to and hide. So it's always a risk you to take when you're using attics. Saying that, the cover's still very good being inside a building. So. And looks like one of my squads... No, don't do that. Looks like they've given up already. The squad that just got up there decided, nah, don't want to be there. Oh, that's lucky. Took out some German... Took out someone in that team. Oh, took out two of them. That's incredible. And looks like his buddies decided to run away. So that's a lot of luck there in my experience. That's brilliant. So those guys are running away just at the wrong time. Yeah, their moral's just down to nervous, so they're probably just thinking about themselves. Silly. And my mortars are falling on the right flank there. That's good, should scare those guys away. And that last one especially went right on top of them. Okay, so it should be clear now that forest. My men there are going to move up to the bocage. They're going to should be able to get some shots on the... Oh, cancel that. Those guys should be able to get some good shots on the enemy on the right flank. That should be my right flank secured for the moment. I think everyone else has fled back. Meanwhile, my breach team's going to move up just to get ready to breach into the objective area. They should be safe on that side of the wall, unless the Germans decide to blast their way through from the other side. Meanwhile, my regular infantry from the platoons are going to just take care of their dead and wounded. Get scavenged some ammo, and I think someone lost a SMG, so I'm going to save that SMG, it'd be nice. And the mortars are still playing up. This whole platoon on the left now, because those guys have fled from the hedge line there, they're going to move into the wheat field. Just did a regular walk, there's no real rush to get them up at the moment. Can't tell yet if that tank's been abandoned or not. Don't think so, but and just try something a little bit more. Thinking about it. So just
Hello, fire mission. Over.
heavy and quick, really just pound that single point area for a few seconds. Probably 8 shots in quick succession will come down on that tank. The tanks are not obviously moving, so I think they're pretty static for the scenario. Especially before with mortars.
Complete. End of mission. Out.
Thank you. Especially with mortars falling on top of his head before. If he hasn't moved from that, I think he's got orders to really sit tight and cover everything no matter what. I'm still finding some infantry in the field there. Okay, and those guys are moving quickly. Just don't know where that rifle fire's going. I'm pretty sure that rifle fire's mine. Okay, so definitely still some infantry in that field, but it looks like they're not thinking about taking me on at the moment. They're just trying to save their own skins. So some of my men have definitely got spooked in that wheat field, and they're moving quickly now, not just walking. So some fire has to be coming towards them. So there could still be a sniper team or someone on that hedge line who's still hidden from my men in the centre. So keep that in mind if I move up closer. And at that point, I'm just looking around now. I think we'll leave it there for part 2. I'll put up part 3. This gets done a lot quicker, I must admit, editing wise, so hopefully we'll get part 3 up very soon. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please leave comments and any suggestions to improve the show. Thank you.